Hello and welcome to another TV review, new TV on the backlog. It's been a while for me and Clay. Was Beef the last one? I think it was, right?
Yeah, yep, I
Mm.
believe so.
So we're back and we're talking about one of probably, I would say, the top 3 to 5 most anticipated TV shows of the year for most people.
Mm.
It is the final season of The Bear, which interestingly, I think the hype for this show has kind of died off. I remember at the time when season two was airing, when season three was airing, especially, a lot of people were really into it. And I think the slower pace of season three and four kind of pushed some
Mm.
people away.
Yeah,
Um, so I
they
have
got
not felt as much hype for this season than I thought I would.
yeah, I can definitely see that. They got a lot more artistically creative in the season three and season four especially. So I
Mm.
think that probably turned some people off.
So we are going to go into spoilers here. So if you, oh, that's a siren. I don't know if you can hear that on your end.
Oh,
Um, oh, Zoom's got pretty good noise cancelling. So if you want to grab a drink and settle down for this video, I imagine we're going to be going pretty long here because there's a lot to talk about. Um, yeah, as I said, we'll get into spoilers, but we will signpost them as they come. Like we try to do a bit of a non-spoiler talk, and then we'll have to get into it at some point. I do want to have a quick note on Gary, the special, before we get into the season. Um,
yeah.
where you see more of Mikey and Richie's relationship in flashback. Um, I really liked it. It's not like one of my favorite installments of The Bear, but I think it was a really good demonstration of the sort of generational trauma of the Bizarro family, and it's the most we've ever seen of Michael in one episode, apart from Fisher's, obviously, the season two flashback. But even
Oh,
then,
yeah.
he's even more in the forefront of this one. And I think John Bernthal is just so good at nailing that sort of everything about Mikey that we already know. You know, he's lovable and he has such an, for lack of a better word, an aura about him that everybody really loves and is drawn towards. But he's also so difficult and so going through so much mentally. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's such an interesting character. And I wrote down that I think he could easily be the main character of a very, very different show.
Oh, yeah, like a spinoff or something.
Yeah. It's so what yeah, what did you think of the special?
Personally, I love a good road trip episode, so that was a lot of fun. I love how it just progressively Richie's character or John Berthal's character just his spiraling out. It just got worse and worse. But yeah, I mean, it's been a minute since I've seen it. I saw it whenever it first came out, um, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yes.
Yeah, so I hadn't seen it and I watched it the night before the season began. So it was pretty fresh for me when I went to it. So let's get into it then. Season five of The Bear. Before we get into it, Clay, I want to know how you feel about The Bear as a whole and how you feel going into this because I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on season three and four in particular. What was your feeling?
Well, I think season one is a lot more chaotic, and I feel like a lot of people, especially who work in the food industry, probably relate to it a lot more. But then I just love how it progressively got more creative and more of a character study as time went on. I think there's a lot of just really great moments. I don't know how people feel about the dialogue, like. I had one friend on Discord say that a lot of the dialogue is just too much. People don't normally talk like that, is what they said.
It's kind of
But
been like that since the start, though. I think maybe season one was a bit more grounded, but it still had its moments of that, you know.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think he can get away with it. I think just the performances are really good. Um, Jeremy Allen White just does a terrific job. So does Io Debris. Um,
Oh, Ebon Moss Backrack as well. I mean, they're all so good.
mhm.
I think for me, like I definitely think season one and two were. I watched those and I was like, wow, this is like one of my favorite shows of all time. And then season three came out, and I think I liked it, but it was a bit disappointing, and I definitely did not like the finale of season three, especially because
Mm.
I don't know if you remember, but it ends on the cliffhanger of the reviews coming out, and then it ends after 10 episodes of this laborious, slow pace, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and it was like, oh my God. And then I
Yeah,
thought season four was a big return to form. Not quite as good as seasons one or two, but considerably better than season three, which then leads us into season five, which picks up not too long after the finale of season four. It's not really stated, but I think it's a matter of weeks at most because spoilers for season four, I guess. Kami revealed to Richie and Sydney that he was going to leave, and no one else has found out. So by that, you can kind of guess, okay, it's probably only been a week or two, maybe a month at most.
that
Um,
was such a big reveal too. I love
mm,
the setting, just the most longest smoke break that you can possibly imagine.
yeah, that was a great finale to the last season. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and when I was watching the first few episodes of this, when it dropped, there was a big thunderstorm happening here in Toronto, so
Oh wow.
it was pretty fitting actually. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is this is pretty clearly a send up of season one, right? This is almost every episode almost parallels its counterpart in season one, which I found really, really interesting. Um, Especially when you get to the last two episodes, which we'll get into. But
Yeah.
it is blatant that they're like playing the greatest hits in this season.
Yeah, yeah. Something missing from this season. There's not like a standalone episode that for example, like the birthday from the
I
last
I
season.
guess that's what Gary was, right? I guess that, but they
Yeah,
decided to release it as a special rather than as a part of the season.
for
Um,
sure. Yeah. Of course, it takes place all in one night.
It does, yeah, and because of that, I think that really works in its favor. Because where season three and four, as much as I did enjoy them, especially season four, there was a kind of meandering, like art film kind of slow pace to a lot of it. The episodes were also longer than they had been. The episodes were like 40, 45, sometimes an hour. Um, and what's great about this season is that the pacing is breakneck. It is relentless. Things
Mhm.
move really fast. Things keep going wrong, and each episode feels packed with content, with maybe the exception of the finale, but that makes sense in the context of the finale, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It's like an epilogue.
yeah, yeah, I guess so. In a similar way to the one in season one was. Um, I think I don't know how you feel about the facts. This is an interesting way to start off, but I've never really liked the facts. I've never found them that funny. But I have to say, this season was the funniest I ever found them, especially the Paul Rudd scene
Oh yeah, that
in
was
the
funny.
first episode. That really got me, I've got to say. And I think I really like what they did with Neil Fack's character as well, is that we got some cool arcs for some smaller characters as well, which is great. And he
Mhm.
gets to really shine in that penultimate episode.
Oh
Um,
yeah, when he's talking to the guests who he thinks of.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. And I think there's a couple things that I found really interesting as well. Like the it's usually using a lot of I can't remember if it's diegetic or non-diegetic, but they usually use a lot of songs rather than an original score, right? And
Mm.
in the season three premiere, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did an original score for that episode, so they've kind of dabbled with it. This season is all score. There's not a single song used in
Yeah,
it, which
yeah.
I thought was interesting. It made it feel more cinematic, I guess.
It did. It did. It really did. Yeah. Um, I do want to shout out the soundtrack though for the Gary episode.
Oh yeah, that was good.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
the Heart of the Sunrise.
Yeah, that was kind of the last hurrah we didn't know of
Yeah.
what something I've really associated the bear with is great needle drops. Like I guess the most famous one is Love Story, right, in season two. But
Oh,
there's been a lot of really, really good ones throughout. And I think another thing I noticed was that we're going back into a bit more of the dark comedy, which has been a bit missing as well in the last couple of seasons, which have been very self-serious, which again, I've not necessarily disliked, but it's been nice to have the comedy back. when Kami's like shouting, "I'm not making a flood more," and then the pipe bursts. It's
Yeah.
like some good stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah. What else did you like about the season without going into spoilers?
Oh, I did love the comedy. I love that scene where Sydney is trying to give everybody a pep talk, and then somebody just falls down from the roof. Just a
Yeah,
great closing for that episode.
and then how they play the dialogue over the credits as well.
Oh yeah, that's great. Also the opening sequence too. Whenever the FX logo comes on, it's like stormy. You can hear the thunder.
But then, of
It's
course, it's not in the last couple episodes because the storm passes, which is good attention to detail.
yeah.
Um, I like it. Sort of reaches like comical levels of everything going wrong at once, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and there's the health and safety check montage, which is really cool because it calls back to different moments throughout the series of like things going wrong in the restaurant, which I thought was really really sweet.
Oh yeah.
Um, Yeah, and I really think like the first few episodes, especially, the pacing's really strong, like 25 minutes roughly. You can just fly through them really fast and it works really well. It really sets you up for the season really well.
It
Um,
does. Yeah.
how about we talk about our main characters? What are you thinking with Kami, Sydney, and Richie this season? How are you feeling with specifically with not where they end up, but what we got throughout the season?
Well, I really like Carmi and Sydney's dynamic. They did a really great job, especially the way it ends with the big hug. It's just almost brought a tear to my eye. It was
Yeah.
so good. It really encapsulates really their whole post work day. Um, yeah, it's there are some moments where there's a lot of tension. You know, Sydney is the one who broke the news that Carmi's leaving, and the way she did that, it was pretty crazy. Um,
Yeah, I guess as much as a hug couldn't be a spoiler, it's a minor spoiler, I guess, because they do become friends again at the end. But
yeah.
we'll just rip the band-aid off, and there'll be we won't go into major spoilers, but yeah. Um, I did write down that the tension between them was horrific to watch. Like it is painful because both of them are being difficult. Like I think it's pretty. What I did like is that I think the past couple seasons have been a bit too like Carmen's the problem. He doesn't want to change, blah, blah, blah. And like a lot of that is true, but I think this season did a much better job of showing like, Sydney could do more to be more assertive. She could yeah, and I think that was really, really good. Um what contrast with that though, where there's a lot of tension between Sydney and Kami, Richie and Kami get on so well this season.
They really do.
And
Yeah.
it's so sweet. Like there's when they all find out about Kami's decision and Jimmy is like really angry,
Oh, he
Richie's like
starts.
Richie comes to his defense and it's like, this is great. Like and it's almost as if when they had that chat in the smoking area that Richie kind of just clicked everything with Kami and he kind of respects him a bit more for like voicing his opinion. At least that's how I took it anyway. Um and yeah, I really love their dynamic. It's probably my favorite thing about this season is Richie and Kami scenes together.
Yeah. Yeah. And the ensemble was really good too. I really like Marcus and Luca. Their dynamic was pretty cool with the McGriddle.
Yeah. No, that was good. I think maybe the only thing with them, I felt that maybe their conflict came up too fast and then was resolved too fast. It's all within one episode, right?
Oh
And I
yeah.
think maybe they're just trying to go for like a heat of the moment, which having worked in hospitality, that does happen, you know? But
Hmm.
it could have felt a little bit more natural to me.
Right.
Um, I love the scene in the smoking area with Richie and Kami where Richie is like censoring himself. Like he says, I don't want to, I'm not trying to call you an R word or anything. And I'm like, wow, like in season one, he would have said it. He would have said the slur and he would have just,
Yeah.
with a hard D, I guess. But it's great. And I love Kami's like attempt to become a real person. It's so like heartwarming to see him like try his best to emote and to check in on people.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and we when I messaged you about the show, you mentioned that you didn't feel like he had much to do and he was more of like a supporting character. I actually
Oh, Tommy.
disagree
Yeah.
because I think he still is the main character because his entire arc is taking himself away from the spotlight. You know, that the
Mm.
entire series or season rather is about Kami understanding that he can still do this. He just doesn't have to be in the center of attention. You know, it's not about restaurants being bad for him. It's about him being bad for himself because of his attitude. And
That's good.
that was so well done, I thought.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that really brings up your point is made a lot more clear by the final episode, I think, especially with whenever he's speaking with the job interviewer um,
Mm.
for the intern for the architecture and internship. Sorry, I can't speak right now.
No, no, I get exactly what you mean, yeah. And another great moment with Richie and Kami is when, oh, probably my favorite moment in the entire season is when Kami drops the plate and
Oh my God, yeah.
it cuts to like it takes like 20 seconds for it to happen. It happens in slow motion. There's like cuts, there's jump cuts, and it's like everyone's just looking at it. And Jeremy Allen White's performance in that scene is so good.
He's like, I'm sorry.
And then Richie's immediately like, "We got you, we got you. It's cool." And I was like, "Yes, this is so
Season
good."
one, Carmi would be totally different. He
Well, it's
would.
not even that Kami would be different. I guess he would be shouting or whatever, but for me, it's like Richie would have been like, "Yeah," because even Sydney says to him like, don't," and Richie just goes, "We got you," and I love that. Like,
Mhm.
it is just I could have watched a whole season of just those two together. Like, it was beautiful.
Oh
Um,
yeah. They're also kind of forced to keep their cool whenever
mm,
Richie brings in the guests.
yeah.
And oh, that was so funny.
Oh, that one guy. Oh,
Yeah.
he like thinks he's part of the
Two
team.
minutes and 59 seconds.
um, and there's like a lot of like really scenes that feel very like improvisational, like when Sydney catches Richie and Jess holding hands, and then Richie comes in and they start giggling, and then they don't tell Kami what's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if that scene was improvised. Like the performances are so good there, very natural. Um,
I'm really surprised Richie kept his cool throughout the entire season because it begins with him getting into a car accident,
mm.
which kind of calls back the Gary episode too.
Well, this is the thing. I think that cliffhanger at the end of the Gary episode where he has the car crash, I kind of think it was a bit misleading because then we start the season, he's had the car crash, and then he's like, "Yeah, I had a car crash, whatever." It's
Yeah.
like, okay, is a bit weird. It's a small thing. I want to talk about Abby Elliott as well, who plays Sugar, Natalie, and
Mhm.
I want to shout her out because in the first two seasons, I thought her character was pretty weak, and I honestly thought her performance wasn't great. And I really think she's grown into the character, and Sugar has become a character that I really care about. And Abby Elliott, I think, is really great in this final season, and she has been for the past couple of seasons. I just want to shout out because I don't think she gets as much credit, especially when in the early seasons maybe she wasn't on the same level as her co-stars, you know?
Yeah, yeah. She does start to unravel a little bit in like the second episode, but
Hmm.
she also kind of keeps it together towards the end as well.
What did you think of the subplot with Jimmy, the computer, and Cheese and the air
Oh
rights?
yes, the air rights. That
Yeah.
was so good.
You enjoyed it?
Um, yeah, I did. I did. I thought it was pretty funny. It was kind of cute. I liked whenever they were, I guess, trying to get an application for the air rights or trying to figure out who owns the air rights, and they're at that. Uncle Jimmy, he's just like spewing a bunch of nonsense to that poor worker.
Very aggressive man.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I thought it was entertaining enough. It was definitely my least favorite aspect of the season. I think it just felt a little bit too filling time, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, there were some entertaining moments. And is it Gracie Abrams? Is that who it is who plays Cheese? No, it's
Um,
Elsie Fisher. Elsie Fisher, right?
else, yeah, yeah. She's
And
in eighth grade.
yeah, I wasn't sure about her performance. I don't know if it was the direction or what. The character's a bit stilted for me, but
Hmm.
these are all small things. Like I want to make it very clear. Overall, I think the final season of The Bear is fantastic. It's
Oh
so
yeah,
good,
it is
it,
very good.
and it's definitely the best season since two.
So many
Um,
callbacks too, like in the final episode where uh uh Carmen and Richie are in the freezer
I was
and
just about to bring that up. Is and then when he jokes that it's locked,
yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Um, and I think perhaps the you could say that the end of the episode seven and then the whole of episode eight are pretty saccharine, and like I don't know, a bit too like oh nice, everyone's hugging and everyone's happy, but I think they've kind of earned it because these characters have been miserable for so long, and like I don't
Yeah.
think we've ever seen service end in an episode and people be smiling, you know, like
Yeah.
I think they kind of earn it, you know.
For
Um,
sure. Yeah.
and I think another one of my favorite scenes was Kami taking the phone call and then reciting the review to Sydney. And then, he says, look, you got 2 stars. You didn't get one, you got two. And the
Yeah.
acting from both of them is just fantastic in that scene.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So yeah, any other scenes you wanted to point out or thoughts or anything?
I really love that reveal whenever they work so hard throughout the night just to get a Michelin star, but the bombshell at the end that they were actually there a couple weeks ago instead of the entire night. I really love that. That was just really good storytelling. Um,
And I think it's not kind of spelled out, but I think that is enough to. I mean, he's probably already been convinced after he goes through that monologue, right?
mhm.
But I think that has is what convinces Kami to stay, and I think he does stay.
Yeah, yeah. I really liked episode three. It was mostly laid back, but then at the end, like I said, the roof caving in
with
and
with Ted Fack, right?
yep, yep.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Um, I love. Yeah, I think the finale is really good. If we want to get onto that, I don't think it's the best episode of the season.
Mhm.
Um, I probably wouldn't make my like top 10 the Bear episodes, but as a finale, I think it works really well.
Yeah,
It kind of ties everything up pretty nicely. Um, I found it weird that they got like Josh Hartnett and Bob Odenkirk and Molly Gordon all to come back to not have any lines.
yeah.
Like, bit odd, but hey, it is what it is. Um, and I love anytime they incorporate Richie's daughter as well, because I feel like that always brings in some of the best moments in the show. Like in season two, it's her Taylor Swift song that Richie's listening to when he's driving
Mhm.
around, and then season four, the whole wedding episode, and then this in the finale as well. So
I
um,
love Richie just on the airplane. That's the final scene.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? The final shot is not on Kami, it's not on Sydney, it's on Richie and
Richie.
Jess.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, of
Wasn't
course,
expecting.
he's going off to Japan with his new girlfriend, which is nice.
Hmm.
Um,
He seems like the type of guy who would be afraid to fly in an airplane.
yeah, I mean, it kind of says a lot about his character that he's never flown before, and he's probably never left Chicago, apart from that one trip to Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about, or
Um, Obviously, I think the penultimate episode is the best of the
yeah, I
entire
agree.
season.
Yeah,
You would agree?
yeah,
Um, the first episode's kind of cool. I like the way it sets up everything. I really like the cinematography with the storm.
mm,
Um, and it opens with Tina having a heartfelt conversation with her husband, which is I wasn't expecting it to open with Tina of all
yeah.
people.
We open on Tina and her husband. We close on Richie and Jess, which is interesting. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Um, yeah, I think the overall it's probably maybe with the exception of season one, or maybe even more than season one, it's the most consistent season of The Bear. It's this and season one. Season two has the
Yeah.
highest highs and is probably still the best season overall, but I think this is similar to season one in the sense that there isn't really a weak episode. Like every episode felt like it flowed into the next one really nicely, paced really nicely. So no complaints from me there. My favorite episodes would be episode four. I really like that one.
Oh yeah, me too.
Um, Ribs, and then the final three episodes, particularly episode seven, which at the moment has a 9.7 out of 10 on IMDb, which is
Well
very high.
deserved, I think.
And I think that would make it the joint most of the show, I want to say. Um, yeah, with Forks. So it's that and Forks that are the top two um, episodes.
Are
Forks probably
any of
still my
these
favorite.
are any of these episodes like in your top five of the entire series?
I would say the episode seven probably would be. I'd say my top five is probably Forks, the penultimate episode of season one review, the one take episode I really love.
Mhm.
Fishes would be up there. Um, and then maybe episode seven of this season would be the next one. And then maybe
Yeah.
the wedding episode from season four would be my last one of the top
Yeah,
five.
I think Fishes and the wedding episode are probably my top two.
Nice. Yeah. That's just a beautiful episode. Like it's really, really heartfelt.
Yeah.
Um, so I think we can't really have any complaints. I guess that's we haven't talked for as long as we thought, probably because there isn't much to nitpick. Like it's a great season of TV. It's harder to talk about TV that's good than TV that's not as good, I feel like.
That's true.
And I really think it sticks the landing. I think the plot is streamlined. I think the pacing is really strong. I think the character arcs for pretty much every character feel nicely resolved and satisfying.
Hmm.
Maybe it doesn't have the same high highs and excitement of season one and two, but I would put it at number three of the show. Maybe joint with season one, but probably just below, just because season one being the first season and being that good was so impressive. Whereas
Yeah.
this has had so many years to build on. I'm going to go with a final score of 8.6 out of 10,
That's so
which
funny.
is that
Mine was
yours
going to
as
be
well?
8.5.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay,
So
nice.
close.
Yeah, well, we both that if you've been watching our episodes, that shows you how much we think of this. And for me, that puts it as my number two series of the year so far, behind A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So,
My number
um,
three, behind
okay,
Half Man and the Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
yeah.
Which,
So we both think of it very highly.
yep.
Um, Let us know what you think of The Bear season five if you've watched it yet. Give us your ranking of the seasons, your favorite episodes, anything like that. Any The Bear discussion is welcome here. The next time you'll see Clay and I together will be for a mid-year recap, probably towards mid to late July. Might bleed into early August, but we'll see how all that shakes up. We've got yeah, between 5 and 8 shows we might talk about. So
Yeah.
um,
I'm
we
really
can
excited to talk about my show of the year so far.
yeah, which you've just spoiled.
Yeah.
I've not seen it yet, so you've got a bit of interesting where I'll land on it. So
Mhm.
yeah, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you again very soon.